Hello, my name is Freda, and I've been at Knollwood quite a few years. I grew up down the road in Springfield, Virginia, and we did go to church and all my life, but I didn't absorb. If I was hearing the gospel, I didn't absorb it, and I spent most of my time running away, trying to avoid Christianity because I thought that was a fun squelcher. And I was all about having fun. I thought life should be just a lot of fun. So then when I was in college, my parents decided to move to Georgia. So they went down there, and on one of my breaks, I came down to visit them and met and married the town bad boy. After a tumultuous year, we divorced. I came back up here, not to go back to school, I went to work. And then after 4 years, I had a real lapse in judgment and married him again. So this time I figured I had made my bed, I had to lie in it, because after a few weeks I had already realized that I'd made a mistake. But as we were pulling onto the farm, when he came to get me and my furniture and stuff, there was a couple standing in the field, and they were out there with some horses, and I asked my husband what they were doing there. And he said, oh, that's the preacher and his wife. They keep their horses here, and they come out every day to feed and ride and groom. And I said, there's no way. I said, I am not having a preacher hanging over my shoulder every day. They have to go. He said, well, that's not your choice. This is my dad's farm, and they're here. So after a few days, I got lonesome enough to venture out and introduce myself and talk to them, and they were very nice. I liked them immediately, and we became fast friends. The only day I didn't see them was on Sundays, because I still refused to go to church. And so, but one day I thought, I think I'm just going to go down and hear what he says on Sunday, see how different he is from out here when he's out here. So I started listening, and he was preaching on the character of God. I remember this so clearly. He was teaching about his omniscience, his omnipresence, how he all loving, all caring, all powerful. And he went through, weeks of this. He took a character every week and just really filled out my picture of who God was. I never realized. Maybe somebody told me and I just wasn't ready to hear it. And then we got into a series on prayer, and I still hadn't gone forward. They would have an altar call on Sunday mornings, and I was just holding on to the pew. I was going, I am not doing that. There's no way that's ever going to happen. But then I started going to church in November. In July, it happened. I said, oh no, I want this. My life is a train wreck. And why am I continually driving the train over a cliff when there's somebody that wants to drive in my stead and lead, guide, and direct everything that I do? And so I gave my life to the Lord, and I was very intentional about growing in my faith, going to Bible studies, getting together with other Christians whenever I could, of course, going to church, having my quiet time in the morning. That is absolutely vital to growing in the Lord. You have to let Him speak to you through His Word and use the Holy Spirit. And I've just never looked back. It has been a wonderful experience. Now, I'm not going to say everything's been perfect. It hasn't. But it sure is easier knowing who's in charge.